I just finished reading a Substack post titled The Religion of Love, and it's by this girl who, she's past college age, and she posts on TikTok a lot is where I've seen her, but she's got a Substack. It's called, I really hope it's not her name, because I don't even have the first clue on how to pronounce it. It's like Quynh. It's not a name, it's a username. But her field notes is blank field notes is what the Substack's called, and I love it. I say I love it. I've read one post, but I love her TikToks. Love her TikToks. Every time they come up, it's these medium form videos, 3 to 5, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter videos of her talking about philosophical concepts, or her experiences in life, or a conversation she had with someone, just impactful moments where she saw what I like to call the soul of life. And I really like the way her mind works. And by the time I'm her age, I hope I'm as wise as she is. I'd love to have a conversation with her, and I'd love for her to, just school me on thinking, because I can't think as fast or as proficiently as she does. But anywho, she posted on Substack titled The Religion of Love, and it's about it's the religion of love on worship something and the divinity of love. And it's a lot about, it's got 3 sources that she cites, and it is Before Sunset, written by Richard Linklater, and it's the characters Cecile and Jesse, played by what are their names? Ethan Hawke is the guy, and is it Jessica Delphi? I can't remember her name. Delphi. Anyway, they're great actors, and it's a wonderful movie. The Before trilogy is great. I haven't seen Before Sunset, but the Before trilogy is absolutely wonderful. And there's this quote from Cecile, and she's saying that she doesn't believe in God, right? To quote her, to paraphrase her quote, I don't believe in God. I believe in love. And I believe, God is not in you and me. God, you and me, we're not God. Instead, I believe that God is the space between us. The attempt to share knowledge and to understand one another. Whether or not we're successful doesn't matter, but the attempt to share slices of our minds, that is divinity to her. And the author of the Substack post completely buys into this, and it's a thought that she's had, and she had before the movie, and she goes into detail explaining how her religion, she doesn't believe in God, but her religion is that of love, of people and relationships, and getting to know people, and being known by people, and being loved by people. That is the highest calling in her mind, is to speak to people, and that's a passion even, is to talk to people. And I want to be like that. In yet another way that I say, I want to, be like her. I love people. I absolutely love people, and when I'm brave enough to, I love to talk to people, but I have a problem with not having the confidence and not having the repertoire or the bag to greet people. I'm too scared to. And I love conversations, but I don't know how to have them, and it's really asking questions, and it's really paying attention. It's listening and asking questions. But I'm not very well practiced in it, and she is much better practiced than me. And in the TikTok that she posted, I think a month or 2 ago, she talked about a conversation she had with a man on an airplane, and it was, she talked to the guy for 5-6 hours about life and about death and about our society and Western civilization and philosophy and all of these big ideas. It's like, how do you even get on that topic, right? And, I admire her for it. And I'm definitely going to entertain myself with more of her content. And I'm going to keep going back to what she posts. Like I said, I'd love to have a conversation with her and just pick her brain. But as I was saying about the post, it's all about how I'm cheating a little bit, but it's all about how love is her religion, and it's what she believes in, if nothing else. You can believe in love, and you can believe in interpersonal love and in conversations and relationships. Her second source is Lady Bird, written by Greta Gerwig. I think I'm saying that name right. That's all. I believe she's also the writer, director of Barbie. I've seen neither. I really want to watch Lady Bird. I might one day watch Barbie. But the second quote is in a conversation with two characters. I don't know. I think it's protagonist and supporting character, sure. And it is a conversation about the protagonist's hometown of Sacramento and how she had to write, it was some sort of an application for something, it might have even been a college application, how applicable to me, about how she hates Sacramento, her hometown, but the person she's having a conversation with, her conversee, got the impression that she loved this place because she is so observant and she paid so much attention to every detail of the town, of the city. And somehow the conversation gets to a point where the conversee says, don't you think maybe they're the same thing, love and attention? And I'm misquoting that a little bit, but love and attention are the same thing. It is the main point of that. And then the author of the post goes on, she expounds on the quote, and she says, attention is not love, love is attention. And then she talks about how to love someone and to know someone, you have to pay attention to them, and you have to care enough to listen and care enough to pay attention, to invest attention into someone. And I really like that idea, alongside the first one. Everything about this post was really good. And to give someone your attention is to love them, or to love someone is to give your attention. Depends on how you want to say that. It doesn't really go vice versa. It's more loving someone is giving them attention, is giving them time. The more time you devote to someone, it's more likely that's a person you love. So invest time in the people you love. That came right out this noggin, not theirs. There's a third source in the post, and this one, not as much is said about it. It's just used really to wrap up the rest of the post. And it's saying, it's a book by Emil something. It's this dude who wrote about religion, and it's a book about how religion is a social phenomena. And religion is pretty much a construct used to create a sense of community among people. And I'm having a hard time articulating this, but religion is a device by which we can have community, and by which we can have shared experience, and by which we can have something to conversate about and to love each other over, right? And so the author of the post, she doesn't believe in God, and she doesn't practice any religion except the religion of believing in people. And so religion is largely about people. You know, it's from people, for people, by the people. If you don't believe, you'd say it's by the people. And I really like that idea, because it's one that it's one of the main things, actually, that I thought about as I was wrestling with faith and whether or not to hold on to it. Is religion just almost a manipulative device to bind people together? And I don't think it's manipulative. I think it's almost a side effect of religion, and it's not intentional necessarily, but it creates almost a tribe, a family of people under one banner. And so, Under the Banner of Heaven, that's a great show. It explores very different themes. And so to be united, you know, to have a shared front that you're working on, that's how you build relationships, and that's how you learn to love people. So the author wraps it all up by saying, you know, her religion is loving people, and I think that's really sweet, and I think that's lovely, and I mean that genuinely. I really do love the idea of loving people, and I love the idea of experiencing, you know, sharing experiences, but also exchanging experiences, right? You know, telling about memories and stories, and that's the core of the human experience. Even art is expression of emotion, and it is storytelling. So to paint a grand oil painting, or to to chisel, I think maybe you chisel a sculpture, to chisel a great sculpture of a man you admired in history, or to write a song about a woman you loved. Art is an expression of an emotion, and it is to tell a story. And that's why I love art, because that's us. That's the soul of life. You know, that's the food of life, the food of soul. It's the sustenance that we eat and breathe is art. So you know, we need food and water and shelter to stay alive, but we need art to have a reason for being alive. Art really is the meaning of life. And it's unfair for me to bring up the meaning of life, because that term is tossed around a lot, and I think that the meaning of life is to find meaning in life. I sort of side with, I don't know how to say, what's his name? He wrote The Stranger, and he's the guy who popularized Sisyphus. Imagine Sisyphus happy. He's that guy. And Albert Camus, I think. What was I going to say about him? I don't know what I was going to say about him. Man. 1 second. That's what it was. Albert Camus said that he was a student of philosophy, and he determined that there was no meaning in life. But instead of being confronted by that truth and having an existential crisis, or becoming cynical, as many philosophers have, or as many people do. Instead, he said, no, there is no meaning in life, but that means it's a blank canvas. That means we can create meaning. And the word altruism is floating in my head. I don't know why I tie it with him. I think he did altruism. That might have been his philosophy. I don't know a lot about him. I'm no expert on that subject. But I really want to read his books. And I really like all of the ideas that I've thrown out in this video, all the things I've said. Just to mention one more name that's been on my mind as I talk about this, Joe Bartolozzi. He's also a student of philosophy, I believe. I've seen people say that. I actually don't know. I think he has a degree in philosophy. He'll go on tangents on his live streams, and he'll talk about how the meaning of life is to give life meaning, and how, I don't know, there's a lot of things that he says that I completely resonate with, and I love to hear what he has to say, because he's a hopeful guy. You know, he's been through some bad things, but he's hopeful, and I love hope. If there's nothing in this world I believe in but nature, love, and hope. That's my three. And people, I guess, yeah. But love is people. Love of people, appreciation of nature, and hope for a better world. That's all I got.